That's Based with Caleb Salvador is a comedic informative production, meaning it covers serious topics in a humorous manner. Some of the opinions expressed are satirical hyperbole, some are not. Some of the content may not be suitable for all listeners. If you're easily offended, tune out now. We don't want pussy bleeding little bitches consuming our content. I have dementia and pooped my pants while visiting the Pope.
Welcome to That's Based. It's the Monday morning unsolicited advice segment. I'm your host, as always, Caleb Salvatore, reporting from somewhere underground. We're laughing our way through the end of days, and we're brought to you by Outlaw Streamers and our friends, the official sponsor of That's Based, over at Beach House Bar and Grill in Omaha. Omaha, Nebraska. This is already starting off well. Over in Omaha, Nebraska. That wasn't even a sick cough. That was, I don't even know what that was. I had spit going down the wrong pipe. Great ad read, by the way. You can go to their website, beachhouse-omaha.com, for more. They have got a lot of shows coming up in April. Most importantly, my show, Comedy and Chaos Presents Harmful Content Comedy. It's actually at 8 o'clock. I've been saying 9, but it's 8 o'clock. Beach House Bar and Grill, just north of 103rd and 4th Street in Omaha, Nebraska. We got Heather Jones, Hunter James, Gabe Frayer, and a whole bunch of other hilarious people, including myself, headlining that show. Again, that's April 6th. They've also got the Element Band April 12th, Girls Night Out April 13th, Blue Venue on the 19th, DJ Star on the 20th, Is a Vibe, and DJ Star, excuse me. The 26th, they have a burlesque show. What is burlesque, Mia? Mia, the red face of white supremacy, is with us, as usual. What does burlesque mean?
I don't know how to really describe it. It's like... Have you seen the you probably haven't seen it, like the Lady Marmalade music video?
No.
Okay, then.
Is it like drag?
No.
Okay.
Well, they kind of like dress how...
But it's real women.
It's a real woman.
Not some freak in a dress.
Yeah, no, it's real woman.
Okay.
I mean, I guess kind of like how they dress would be kind of like how drag...
Okay. Well, if that's your thing, they've got it at Beach House on April 26th.
It's not like tacky.
Okay.
It's not tacky like drag shows, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
April 27th, they have Ed Archibald, and then the 28th, they have Bobcat and Graham Good. All that and more, beachhouse-omaha.com to learn more. Okay. All right. It is the unsolicited advice segment where we go around and Mia scours the internet for a couple of minutes, find some stories. I react to them blindly. I haven't pre-read any of this. Remember, we also do the news on Wednesdays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, wherever you get your shows. Make sure you're sharing the shows around if you like it. Let the people in your life know that you care about them by turning them on to an awesome show like this one. We also hope everyone had a very happy Easter. Easter, the only holiday on March 31st. No other holidays. Did I miss a holiday? On March 31st, Mia, were there any holidays that I missed? I can't hear you. Were there any holidays that I missed on March 31st?
I don't think so.
Okay,
no
so
significant holidays.
What's that?
No significant
holidays. Yeah, I feel like there's like a 41% chance that I missed at least one holiday that was on March 31st. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know. I'll let the idea hang around in my head for a little bit. Maybe I'll think of it then. I don't know. Okay, all right. Nonetheless, if you didn't get the vibe from that little intro segment and South Park Joe Biden, this segment in particular is not a political one. My views will come out from time to time. I know sometimes this attracts a little bit more wide variety of an audience, but there you have it. If you're easily offended, just like South Park Biden said, tune out now. Okay. Let's do this first one here. Do you have anything you want to lead off with these stories you found? Anything I need to be aware of? Anything you want to let the audience know?
No, one of them's a Facebook post.
Okay. Oh, Facebook. Is it someone I know on Facebook?
No, it's from a Facebook group.
Okay. What group?
Am I the asshole or is this relationship exhausting?
Oh, okay. All right, well, here we go. This is it. Am I the asshole for ending my relationship over a rubber duck? Okay. I, 31 female, and my now ex, 43, got in a massive fight.
Also, what are the ages? 31 and 43?
43.
Okay.
Yeah. He wanted me to walk the dogs while I was 9 months pregnant, and even though we were worth $50 million, we only had one car, and he wouldn't let me take our one car. No, okay. Okay, so it says, I and my now ex, 43, got in a massive fight. A coworker gifted him a rubber duck. He's training to become a manager at this location for about a month and a half. She was really excited when he said he'd take the rubber ducky with him to the new location. He says it was after they closed, so the lights were off and they were picking up all the rubber ducks. This one just happened to be the one she gave him. It has heart eyes. He says he never noticed that, but that's a lie. He says he never noticed that before, and it's ridiculous, and I'm overreacting over the duck. Why does a 43-year-old man have a rubber duck? This guy's your husband's a pedophile.
He worked at like an arcade or something.
Lots of stuff I can say.
43-year-old man.
Hey, a job's a job, but there's some definite childlike tendencies here. We'll put it that way. I had a rough start to my day. I found out I lost my best friend in this very gruesome manner. I'm a widow, and I lost him in a very gruesome manner. What? Except I watched it all unfold back in 2022. Well, don't spare. I want to know how these people died. I was also having a very rough day at work, so the cherry on top was that his duck had hard eyes and came from a subordinate of his. When I told him my perspective, she was flirting because she got really excited over him bringing the duck with him to his store. He said I was overreacting and reading too much into it. That wasn't her intent. They barely know each other. My emotions run high. I get that. I've been told that I didn't know what I was talking about, that I was overreacting, and all of that in regards to other relationships. I'm learning to stand up for myself. I think she killed her ex-husband. When I managed to calm myself down to explain that I wanted a specific solution regardless of the intent, as it feels it's inappropriate that the duck has hard eyes, he went further to defend the intent of this woman. So we all agree there's lots of problems in this relationship that go way beyond a rubber duck, right? This was not the root cause of all the problems here. There's a lot of other stuff going on. Both of these people probably have a lot of issues. Just as long as we're all on the same page as far as that'll make this whole thing a lot easier. I explained that's how I would have flirted with him in that situation. Because it's very common for people to give hard-eyed rubber ducks to people. In that situation.
That's how I got you.
That's how you pulled me. Yep. Mia pulled me. Did you hear that? I was the catch. And the fact that the duck has hard eyes is just a bonus, but I'd be happy if he could just ask her for a different duck. So she's making a compromise here. You know, like Ukraine and Russia are supposed to compromise over territory. He gets so he gets a duck from this girl. It just can't be a hard eyes duck. So we're making progress. She's art of the deal. Donald Trump, right? He said I was overreacting. It meant nothing. She couldn't possibly have any attraction or affection for him, as they only had a couple 5-minute tops interactions. Oh, sweetheart, he is either lying through his teeth or he underestimates just how crazy women can be. A 5-minute interaction is more than enough time for a woman, especially one that's a little, and men too, to fall in love with you and envision her wedding and what your children will look like. Am I right or am I right? If the right amount of crazy, 5 minutes is far more than enough time for her to envision what your life will look like together when you're old and retired.
You are very, very correct. Yes.
And that's men and women. That's not exclusive to it. They're crazies on both genders. Emphasis on the word both. Happy Easter, by the way. He called me jealous and brought a separate... Wait, what does that say? Oh, brought up a separate instance. Sorry, it was cutting out at the bottom. Where he mostly... Wait, what is this? I can't see this. Wait, we just lost half of it. What's going on here? Says he said he called me jealous and brought up a separate instance where he mostly, and then it just cuts off. Do you have it? I don't see it.
Let me
This
check.
is unprofessional. Regardless, I'll read the rest of it. He said I was overreacting about nothing. She couldn't have possibly had any... Oh, here it is. Attraction or affection for him as they only had a couple 5-minute interactions. He called me jealous and brought a separate instance where he said he mostly cut ties with a coworker because I knew she had a habit of being unfaithful and tried to hit on my late husband at one point. There's a lot going on here. I broke off the relationship because despite being given a solution that had ultimately had little to do with the actual interaction and just the duck, he still defended the intention of a woman he barely knows. It felt very manipulative and like I was being gaslit. Gaslit over a rubber duck.
With heart eyes.
With hard eyes. The hard eyes are the important. It's not the duck. It's the hard eyes that are the important part.
So what if it was one of the duckies with like the American flag on it?
Maybe she wants him to go die in a war for her?
Maybe.
Yeah. What other kind of ducks do they... I don't know. I don't dabble in the rubber duck game too deeply.
I don't know. Just a regular rubber duck.
Yeah.
I know they
maybe
have
like an
some with,
Elvis
like...
one.
Yeah, they have some with like a pirate hat.
There's a transgender rubber duck just hanging from the bathtub. Anyway, make a lot of those jokes today. Get the fuck over it. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said. Here's what we got to realize. We got to break this down. There are 3 parties in this entire scenario, whatever you want to call it. This shit show. There's 3 parties here, and every single one of them is more insufferable than the next. This woman is clearly not over her late husband. She should not have jumped in, the person writing this, she should not have jumped into a relationship with someone. This guy is either the biggest, he reminds me of Phil Dunphy from Modern Family, if this is true. He's either the biggest moron in the world, or he knows this woman's flirting with him, and he kind of likes it, but he may not go anywhere with it, but he likes the attention, so he's just going to let it slide. And the woman who is flirting with him also sounds insufferable because who the hell would give someone a rubber duck to flirt with them? So, yes, I think everyone here sucks. No, you're not the asshole. I think this relationship not only should have ended, it never should have begun. So you did what should have been done a long time ago, and you caught up. Congratulations on your new start at life. I nailed that one?
Yeah.
Dr. Phil style?
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, she's not the asshole for breaking up with him. She's just the asshole in general.
We need to...
she's just an asshole for how she is, not for breaking up with him.
I think we need to expand this segment. I think we need to find people that are having real life issues and bring them in there, and I can mediate it.
Yeah.
I think we should. I don't know how we could find this, but I think that we need to pull this, and even if it's like over Zoom or something, I want to start doing that. I think that would be even
like a
funnier.
real life, like Maury.
Yeah, Maury, except no fights. I don't want to do that. We're not doing pregnancy tests either. I can't afford that. Okay, all right, next up. This is from Technophobia on Reddit, our confessions. I made an account of my high school... Man! Oh, man. Somewhat. How old is this person? Do we know?
I don't know. I can't remember if it says
it doesn't
it
say
in there
it. No,
or not.
I'm scanning it real quick. It doesn't say it. This is... I don't even think I would go this far.
Isn't it bad?
Politically. Okay, all right. I made an account of my high school bully's dead baby. All right, so hear me out before you judge me. You know, you're always going to be able to sympathize with the person writing when they lead it off with that. Back in high school, I had this bully who made my life a living hell. Let's call him Z. Z tormented me, relentlessly mocked me, and even physically assaulted me on occasions, like when he pushed me down the stairs. Needless to say, I despise... Oh, so he pushed Z's wife down the stairs for payback, and she happened to be pregnant. No, needless to say, I despised him with every fiber of my being. This continued for a few years, even after high school, on Instagram and Snapchat. I love how they just continue to bully. They extend the bullying. This guy's 43 years old. Hey, nerd. Fast forward a few years. Okay, so he's like early mid-20s then, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward a few years, I stumbled upon news that Z had started out a family, but his baby tragically passed away due to unforeseen complications. Now, I know what you're thinking. I should have felt sympathy or even just remained indifferent. This is correct. Yes. But no, I couldn't let go of the bitterness and resentment that had been brewing inside me for years. I just had to do it. I don't think you had to do it, bud. I don't think you had to do this. Maybe he skipped the part where someone broke into his house and pointed a gun at his head and told him he had to do this. Maybe I missed that part in the text, but I don't think you had to do this. I can't even believe that you would think to do this. Because I like to consider myself pretty good at getting back at people who deserve it, and I wouldn't even think of this. This is you got some issues. So here's what I did. That's what the guy's saying. I created a fake online account pretending to be Z's baby and used it to post about him dying from his perspective, with the account being named Z's Dead Baby. Oh my God, this gets worse. I wrote jokes about how I was burning in hell and that I wanted my mommy, and making fun of the pain and grief he must be going through. He was pouring his heart to strangers on the internet for solace, and I showed him the harsh truth of what happens when your past is full of hate. Because no one can ever overcome or grow from things they did in high school. We are all the person we were when we were 16. We don't grow, we don't improve, nothing. The reactions were overwhelming. People poured in with console or support, condolences, and empathy for him, but it was too late and his profile went private. But here's the thing. He doesn't know it's me behind the account, so I got away completely free of consequence. He genuinely believes that strangers online are sympathizing with him during his darkest hour. No, I can't help but feel a tad guilty. Did I take my revenge too far? Yes. Yes, you did. Am I a monster for manipulating a tragic event for my own satisfaction? Yes. Yes, you are. Or is this just karma finally catching up to Z for all the torment he put? No. No. Dead babies are not karma for being an asshole in high school. This is like the average Redditor.
There's also two people involved in this.
There's a lot more than two people.
Life.
There's the mom, the grandparents. There's a lot of people that are hurt by this that you're terrorizing. I'm in hell. I think it goes without saying who the asshole is here. I don't think. I don't know. It's the dead baby is the asshole. Yeah, the dead baby. I think it goes without saying. You're just maybe you deserved to be bullied. Have you ever considered that? Like, if this is where your brain goes. I mean, here's my thing, man. This is someone that, like, this is a school shooter that didn't have the balls to pick up a gun. That's essentially what this is here. I know we talk about, like, peaking in high school, which is definitely a thing. We all hear about the jock. I know several guys that were freak athletes in high school, and then they have massive beer guts. They're over 300 pounds, and they work at like a gas station. Now, we all know people like that, but what people don't realize is there's two sides of peaking in high school. There's the people that were kings of the school, and that's the greatest their life will ever be. And then there's the people that hit a valley in high school and have just been on a plateau ever since, and they never crawled out of it because someone somewhere let them down and didn't equip them with the tools they needed to crawl out of it and improve their lives. Like, there are people that continue to dwell on how bad high school was for them and just can't get over it, and they use that as a crutch and an excuse for every bad thing they do. And this is, yeah, man, look, everyone, here's the reality. Everyone had bullies and bullied people in high school. At least when I was growing up, that was the case. Everyone was on both sides of that coin, right? You were probably a dick to people, and you may not even remember it. But everyone was on both sides of that coin. Some people were on way more of an extreme than others, but everyone did both. You gotta let shit go. Did this guy kill someone? Did he rape someone? Specifically you, that would lead you to still be clinging on it? No, you need to, like, this is obviously someone, their life hasn't gotten that much better since high school. Am I right? Am I right here? Like, yeah, if your life had gotten better and you had, gotten this, gone to college and gotten this great job or met a great woman and gotten married, whatever, you wouldn't still be dwelling on your high school bully. There were people that were dicks to me in high school. There were people I was a dick to in high school. I don't really think about them because I, climbed up after high school, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go on an upward trajectory. I don't think about the people that were rude to me in high school. I'm sure I hope they're doing great. I certainly would not create accounts to mimic their dead baby. Now, were there some kids that I wouldn't say I bullied, but because we definitely threw shit back and forth. Are there some kids that sometimes when I'm hanging out with my friends, I have a few too many drinks, I'll text them and fuck with them? Absolutely, but that's fun. There's no dwelling there. That was a mutual hatred. Sometimes that's fun. We make fake phone numbers. Mia joins into the fun sometimes too. We make fake phone numbers and fuck with them. That's fun, sure. But nothing to this extent. We certainly don't dwell on the people that fucked with us in high school and blame them for all of our problems now. So yes, this guy wasn't. You are a psychopath. You're not even an asshole. That's an insult to assholes everywhere to call you that. You are a psycho. All right, we got the last one. Am I the a-hole from low_detail_798. Before we do that, big shout out to our sponsors over at Blood of Tyrants Wines. Head on over to drinkbloodofTyrants.com. Use the promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show, going to save you 10% off your order on either their Red Merlot wine, their White Tears of Tyrants wine if you're gay, or their Liquid Freedom energy drink. The energy drink comes with 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 fucks given. All the kick and benefits of coffee and energy drinks without any of the negative, nasty side effects. All natural ingredients as well. Again, drinkbloodofTyrants.com. Promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D. Like the title of the show, going to save you 10% off your order. That's it. I've had several people tell me. I was telling Mia this because we were at a pretty big liquor store looking for it the other day, like a liquor warehouse, looking for it. I've had several people tell me, hey, I saw that drink, like people I know, right? I saw that Blood of Tyrants wine, at XYZ grocery store, and I picked one up because of you. Thanks for the shout out, man. I'm like, that's great, but I don't make any money when you do that. You understand how the promo code works. That's how they track how many sales I've made, is when you enter the promo code. So while I appreciate you supporting the products that support this show, you're not actually supporting this show. You're not actually funding my wife's online shopping addiction when you don't buy with the promo code BASED at Tactilian, Blood of Tyrants, or Firecracker Farm. So keep that in mind. All right, here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin I'm not having a child-free wedding? Her daughter just isn't invited. This is going to be juicy. I, 27 male, am getting married in the fall to my fiance, 25 female. There's some idiots online. There's just, age gap, red flag! Red flag!
What is it?
27 and 25. He's a groomer! Red flag! Of course it's an age gap relationship! Age gap! Fucking idiots. And we've decided that friends and family can bring their kids, since for the most part, the kids are well behaved and will be with a sitter for the night so the parents can enjoy the festivities. The only exception is my cousin Linda's daughter. Is this Sari? Carrie? It's C-E-R-R-I-E? We're going to say Sari.
Carrie.
Carrie?
C-E-R-R-I?
E. I think Carrie. We're going to say Carrie. Because they must be Mormon if they spell it that way. My cousin Linda's daughter, Carrie, 12. Linda's entitled and selfish, and she's made her daughter entitled and selfish. Okay, question number 1 here, already off the bat. As someone who, not just recently, but recently enough, just did their own wedding, you're telling me about how entitled and selfish your cousin is, and how her daughter's supposedly even worse. Why are you inviting her? Why are you inviting? Well, why would you invite her to your cousin? That's my first question. You don't like her? Don't invite her. She can get over it. I had people I did like that I didn't invite because I liked them, but I didn't like them enough to pay for their food and drinks. Sorry, it's true. Let's see. 2 years ago, my other cousin, Linda's sister Lily, lots of L's here, got married, and Carrie ruined the wedding by throwing a tantrum and destroying the cake because she was jealous that Lily's daughter was the flower girl. That sounds familiar. Linda recently got called me up to talk and brought up child-free weddings and how terrible they are. Her invitation said nothing about a child-free wedding. It had her name and her husband's name on it and no +1 or anything to indicate Carrie could come. Oh, it is Carrie. They spelled it wrong on the first one. I told her I wasn't having a child-free wedding. Carrie just wasn't invited because of what happened at Lily's wedding. I don't want a repeat of Carrie seeing she's not the flower girl again and throwing another fit. 10's already kind of old to be a flower girl, is it not?
Yeah, no. Usually the
Flower
cutoff.
girls are like little girl, like 4, right? Like not even in school.
4 or 5.
Yeah. Linda's since gotten all her friends and the few people in the family who take her side to bombard me and my fiance and family with texts about how selfish we are for purposely excluding one child while everyone else can bring their kids. Here's what you do. You get a list of all the people that have texted you and harassed you about that, and you uninvite all of them from your wedding and say, go fuck yourself. This is my day. This is not Linda's day. This is not Linda's little snot-nosed brat kid's day. This is not your day. You don't have a say in who is and isn't invited to my wedding. Carrie, the snot-nosed little cunt, is not invited for the same reason our drunk cousin Shane is not invited, because we know he's going to show up, have 15 bush lights, and then stumble into the buffet line as everyone's trying to eat, ruining the meal, taking everything down with him. So it is personal, yes. It's personal in the sense that Linda failed to raise her child, and you're more or less telling her this. But my guess is this is one of those my kids can do no wrong parents. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that these are the parents that'll call, the kid gets in trouble at school for just something horrific, and they'll call the school up and complain that how dare you get my kid in trouble? How dare you discipline my child? I've got a feeling that's one of these parents, and she doesn't see anything wrong with her daughter destroying the cake at her sister's wedding because she would do something similar. Everyone keeps asking, why invite Linda at all? My family is very big on family is everything, family first, and respect your elders. Don't know what that last part has to do with it. If it's big on respect your elders, why doesn't Carrie respect? Yeah, shouldn't Carrie? Yeah, why don't you tell? That's a good point. Why don't you tell Carrie to respect her elders? How about that? Respect the institute. 10 years old. I mean, you shouldn't be throwing tantrums like that, period. But 10 years old, you are more than old enough to know. I can't even fathom what would have happened to me if, well, I was going to say if I was 10 years old and I crashed one of my parents' siblings' weddings, but my aunt was already married and ain't no way. I'm not even going to go there. I don't know who listens to this show that's in my family, so I'm not even going to make that joke. But I can't imagine if I were 10 years old and I ruined anyone's wedding, the ass beating that I would have gotten when I got home. I wouldn't have sat down for 2 weeks. And I'm not saying you guys should go out and hit your kids, but had I destroyed the cake at a wedding because I was upset I wasn't in the wedding, my parents would have beat the shit out of me, and it would have been deserved. Well, I mean, we're talking solitary confinement. Don't leave the bedroom for a month unless it's to go to school. Trouble. It certainly, and if I didn't get invited to the next wedding, they would have been like, yep, we get it.
You're blacklisted from all family weddings.
We wouldn't invite him either. We weren't even going to bring him. Like that. Here's the other thing. My thing on family first is bullshit. It's bullshit. Family first is only applicable when both sides of the equation are reciprocating the same energy. So if a member of your family is being selfish and raising a monster and defending those actions, you don't have to put up with it just because you lost the genetic lottery and somehow got related to this piece of shit. Mia knows a lot about relatives and losing the genetic lottery in terms of who you're related to. She is the expert on. We should interview you about that on this show.
I'm good.
Yeah. So I know everyone says blood's thicker than water, but remember, blood can have HIV. Blood can have blood-borne pathogens that are toxic and will fucking kill you. So just because it's thicker than water doesn't mean it's a good thing that you want to be around. Says, if I'd not invited Linda and her husband at all, the shitstorm would be much bigger, and the majority of the family would be calling me to tell me to invite her. Cool, you know what you say then? beep, hang up. That's what you do. That's what you do. Maybe I'm jaded on this because I've already been there, done that, and went through the wedding and dealt with the abuse. Yes, the word abuse is correctly from relatives who want you to invite someone that you have no desire to invite. Maybe I'm jaded and biased.
Yeah, but you caved.
There's one person I caved for. There's one person I caved for that was upset about someone that wasn't invited. And it was one of those. No one else I caved for. Everyone else that was that was upset and making little comments about not being invited, I doubled down. I tagged them in the Instagram pictures of the wedding they weren't invited to and said, look how much fun we had. Facebook, all of it. There's one person I caved for. One person. And it's honestly one of the probably 5 people on this planet that I would give a fuck about to cave on anything for. So I caved for one person. I invited 2 people for her specifically. And that's it. So don't even start with me. See, the difference between Mia and I is I thrive when I have people coming at me. Like, I was born to stand in the fire and hold my middle fingers to it.
Hey, at least you didn't have family members that weren't invited to the wedding sign
a card. That was my favorite card. But I was born. It's like, you know how you look at all the presidents before and after. They look like in 4 or 8 years, they all look like they aged 30, but Trump somehow looks younger because he basks in that shit. That's me. That's how I deal with everyone being upset with me. I love it. Bring more hatred my way. I'm all here. I'm here for it. How do I get everyone angry with me that they're not invited to this wedding? Mia's the opposite. She wants to make no waves. Like I said, she's the brakes to my gas pedal. The screwdriver, I'm the hammer in the toolbox. You need both tools, right? They're just not the right tool for every job. So maybe I'm a little jaded, and it's easy. Hindsight's 2020. You can say hindsight's 2020, telling people to piss off and they're not invited to your wedding. I was an asshole with who was invited to my wedding. And if any of you are listening to this, and you're like, I feel like this is personal, I'm related to Caleb, and I wasn't invited to his wedding. It is personal. I hope you're upset with me. I don't want to be invited to your wedding either, so I can eat your shitty food and save $20 on a bar tab for the night. Don't invite me. I don't give a fuck. You're probably going to be divorced in 6 months anyway. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, this turned into my personal therapy session.
Are you just getting it all out?
We're just letting it. I haven't had an outlet to express all of this, other than the threatening text messages I sent to my relatives when they demanded to be invited to the wedding.
Oh my god!
It wasn't real threats. They're it's a shame you can't. It's a real shame. It'd just be they'd be like, hey.
Or the death glares that you got from them.
Well, no, they text me and be like, hey, haven't gotten your wedding invite yet, and I just reply with a picture of a gun just to send the message to them. Oh, the death glares were my favorite. Mm-hmm. Those were my favorite, because I just smile back like, you're goddamn right you weren't invited.
The passive-aggressive comments on Facebook posts, can't wait for the wedding with
Well, my favorite was when we announced we got, because we didn't post everything right away. We're not a social media couple at all. But when we announced we got engaged, the flurry of text messages I got from people saying, let me know when the let me know when the wedding is so I can pick out my dress, stuff like that. They were all from people that were not on the list or they were on the bubble. It's like they were insecure and they were trying to secure their spot. They were trying to reserve that spot. Hey, remember me. Remember, my self-esteem is entirely contingent upon being invited to your wedding. If I don't get invited to your wedding, I'm probably going to end up sucking on a gun. And the hilarious part is I'll go back and check after we're done. But I'm pretty sure not a single person that reached out to me telling me, hey, let me know when the wedding is. I'm pretty sure not a single one of them was invited, and that may have been on purpose. Might not have been. I don't remember. Well, it's all the people that knew. They were new. They knew they were getting invited. Like, that's my people. I don't understand why people do about weddings. Oh, you got to invite everyone. No, you don't. You don't have to invite everyone. I think weddings are actually a great time to have a hard reset and cleanse your friend group and your family. You know, like it's like they say lives have seasons. And when you get married, you're sort of like graduating high school, college, getting married, having kids, retirement. Those are all different seasons. Like you're walking into the next season of your life. Well, what happens when a TV show ends a season? Usually they kill a couple characters off. So I think getting married is a great opportunity to kill off some of the red shirt characters in your life that are kind of just sucking off on the show's budget. Not really doing a whole lot. It's a great time, a great opportunity to cut some of the fat out of your life and move on to the next chapter without them. Am I right or am I right? I want to roll right now.
This is the most I've heard you talk about this.
I'm just, like I said, I'm just rolling. I'm spitting here.
Yeah, you're just going off.
Nothing but straight facts at this point. we're done. We don't have any stories left. I'm just bullshitting at this point. I don't care if people are tuning out. But you know, there's someone. Here's why this rant matters to me. Some of you will think it's funny. Some of you think it's a dumb waste of time that I did it. Some of you won't care because you just listen to me to slack off at work, which is fine. That's why we do this show. My favorite was but some of you, there's someone out there planning a wedding that's like, hey,
your fiance is getting on their ass right now.
This guy's really speaking to me, and they're going to play that clip, and we're going to change someone's life. We're going to change someone's life. And that's the thing, is it's like, I had a limit. We had a limited amount of seats. So there were actually people I wanted to invite that I couldn't invite. There were people that couldn't, even my cousin Tom, who I just talked to on the phone the other day. He calls me and he tells me, he's like, hey, probably won't be able to make your wedding. So don't worry about it. Cool. Again, I would have been fine having him at my wedding. Absolutely no problem having him at my wedding. But he was straight up with me, which I respect. And there were people that it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And there were people that the not being invited, it wasn't personal. Now you see me doing damage control. No, but there were people there were people that I didn't invite that it wasn't personal. It was a numbers game. And the reality was I'm going to invite my friends that I see 2 to 3 times a week over the great aunt that I see once every other year on Christmas. Numbers game. Sorry. But if you heard this and you're offended by it, you probably should be. That's all I'll say.
What about the great aunt that was heckling us during pictures?
Oh, she was... There was no scenario where she wasn't invited because I wanted that.
Stormed the buffet.
Did she? Did she storm the buffet before they called her table?
Yes.
There was no scenario where Nancy wasn't going to be at our wedding. I just dropped. It's fine. It's not like she's on social media.
Yes, she went to go eat before the table was called.
You know what? I'm going to start doing that. That's a waste of time, too. When we call your table number, I understand letting the wedding party and maybe the parents of the bride and groom go first. After that point, we're all fucking adults. We all went to high school lunch. Let us get up, grab the plates, and just walk through. There's not going to be any stampedes. There's not going to be any Black Friday fights. Just let us get up like adults and get the food. Do we have any more wedding things that we need to air out? Any more grievances about how weddings work that we need to air out?
I have some grievances, but I should probably not say
let's hear it.
The show.
Let's hear it.
I don't think you want me to say it.
Oh, no, probably not. But about how weddings work.
About some help, but...
About how weddings work.
Yeah, about how weddings work. They work with some help.
I agree.
From people that we didn't get, but...
That's okay.
It's okay.
What's done is done.
What's done is done. They also just require the bride and groom to work together.
No, I think they actually require the employee from the venue not to come down and say, don't worry about getting into your tuxes yet. she's not going to take your pictures until later, when we could have gotten them taken. But there's also that. So
I don't know what you're talking
that's
about.
also a lot of help when the staff, make sure the staff is on the same page if you're getting married.
So the bride doesn't have a breakdown.
Oh, the bride's gonna have. That's another thing. The bride will have a breakdown, probably 2 or 3.
Oh, I had more than 2 or 3.
The bride will have a breakdown on the wedding day. Yes, it will. It will, if you do it like if as long as nothing catastrophic happens, it will be a good night. Now the question is, will it be a $25,000 good night? You're going to have to come to that conclusion on your own, because that's probably about what it's going to cost you. But
invite who you want to invite.
Yes,
that will depend. How many people you invite, sorry, will depend on the price. Also.
Yes, that's going to be a big thing in the price. But at the end of the day, it's everyone should do it. It's just a matter of your personal budget, I think. Well, not everyone should. There are certain people that should not get married.
Get married as
young as possible, so you can go through 2 or 3 divorces, so you can have a couple good test runs in, before the real deal. You're like a boxer going through the amateur ranks before he goes pro. 18, 19 is when you should be getting married, right? Maybe younger. Kids in high school. That's you should be having at least 2 kids in high school before you pop those out. No. But no, I think you should, some of you should seriously, strongly consider, because it is. It's like a TV show, only has room for so many characters. Your life only has room for so many people. And when you get married, you're probably already taking a whole bunch of new people on, because you've taken your significant other's people on. And consider it a good time to kill off some of the characters that maybe don't get as much screen time. That doesn't mean you don't like those characters. It doesn't mean you don't respect the contributions that they gave the show prior to the new season. But it's a good opportunity to cleanse. And I know I say that half jokingly and half serious. So take that as you will. Any comments on that?
No. I mean, I still have the same people that I...
We did invite Alex Jones to the wedding.
He didn't show up.
He didn't show up. No, he didn't show up. That's too bad.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic. I would have dealt with having the whole night ruined if Alex Jones was the one that ruined it. No?
I completely disagree.
Okay, imagine, would it be horrifying in the moment if in the middle of the maid of honor speech, he runs up and drunkenly grabs the microphone and starts yelling about the globalists in the moment? But we would have a story that no other 2 people on this planet would be able to share. Am I right or am I right?
You are right, but it doesn't mean it's a story that I want to share.
Oh, it'd be funny. It'd be funny.
It would be.
It'd be
later on. Later on, 20 years down the road,
like David
I can
Terrell
finally
Green during
laugh
my mom's
at it.
speech, sitting there going, yep, oh yeah, like a black preacher. But no, my mom's telling stories of when I'm 4 years old. I've known this guy since I'm 25, and he's, oh yeah, yep, like he was there.
And then he fell asleep 20 minutes later.
He had a lot to drink. That's okay. Anyway, that's been our show. We'll see you guys Wednesday for the midweek check-in. Follow the socials. Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram. Caleb Salvatore Comedy on YouTube and Rumble. Or excuse me, on TikTok. Caleb Salvatore on YouTube and Rumble. What? Oh, yeah, I know. And hope you liked our wedding advice. That's a good one. What?
Get married.
Yeah, get to the right person. Don't just get married to get married. That's been our show, though. We'll see you Wednesday and Saturday for the midweek check-in and the big show. Cheat on your taxes, not your spouse. And as always, oh, that's right. This Friday coming up. This Friday we have got an interview with Dan Osborne, the independent candidate for Senate, running against Deb Fischer. There's no Democrat running in that race. Dan is beating Deb in the polls. So You're not going to want to miss this. This guy could very well be the swing vote in the Senate heading into 2024 that can tip the scale either way. It's looking like the Senate's going to be 51-49, maybe 50-50. I don't know, depending on how this map shakes up. So this guy could very well be the vote. He's already said he's not going to caucus with anybody. So this guy could very well be the vote that tips the scale on to either direction in the Senate. That's with Dan Osborne. That's Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we had an episode air Sunday, too, about the Trans Visibility Day. So we're going to have 5 episodes this week. It'll be a busy week. What the hell is that face for? So tune in for that Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Cheat on your taxes, not your spouse. And as always, stay based.